Yogurt is creamy, tangy, and endlessly versatile. In this episode, we are turning these simple ingredients into 3 easy dishes: a light and fluffy breakfast, a refreshing snack, and a comforting dinner that is full of flavors. You can use store-bought yogurt, but you just need 2 ingredients to make it at home. Let me show you how. I'm using about 3 liters of milk. This is a bunch I'll use throughout the week. Add it to a pot and place it on the cooker. If your milk is raw, bring it to a boil. Otherwise, just warm it up enough to heat through. Let the milk cool until you can comfortably hold your finger in it for a few seconds. If the milk is too hot, it will kill the live cultures, and if it's not warm enough, the yogurt won't set properly. Scoop a little of the warm milk into a small bowl. Add in 3 to 5 tablespoons of store-bought plain yogurt. This is where the live cultures come from. This is also the point where you can add sugar or honey if you prefer. I leave it out because I use my yogurt for both savory and sweet recipes, and only sweeten it as I'm serving. Mix the yogurt and milk until it's smooth. Pour it back into the pot and mix again to combine everything evenly. Cover and place it somewhere warm for about 8 to 16 hours to ferment. The longer it sits, the thicker and tangier it gets. Once it's this thick, creamy, and slightly tangy, it's ready for everything we're about to make. Let's start off with these fluffy, soft, and tangy yogurt pancakes that are perfect for breakfast or brunch. To a mixing bowl, add the dry ingredients. 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder to help them rise, half a teaspoon of baking soda to give them that soft, airy texture, 1 tablespoon of sugar to lightly sweeten, a dash of cinnamon powder for warmth and flavor, and a pinch of salt to balance everything out. Mix until well combined. In a small bowl, beat 1 egg. Add in 1 cup of the homemade yogurt for moisture and that subtle tang, 3 tablespoons of melted butter for richness, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract for that classic pancake aroma. Fold gently until just combined. Overmixing will make the pancakes tough instead of fluffy. Let the batter rest for about 10 minutes before cooking to give it time to relax, which makes the pancakes softer. Add a little cooking oil to a pan and let it heat up over medium heat. Scoop the batter using a measuring cup. I'm using a 1/3 cup measure and pour it onto the pan. Spread it out gently if needed. Cook until the edges start to set and you see small bubbles forming on top. That's how you know they are ready to flip. Flip and cook the other side until golden. Then transfer them to a plate. Keep going until all the butter is done. This recipe makes about 6 pancakes. These high-protein pancakes are soft, fluffy, and slightly tangy from the yogurt. Perfectly balanced and satisfying for breakfast, brunch, or even a cozy snack when you want one. To serve, stack the pancakes on a plate. Top with banana slices or berries. Finish with a drizzle of raw honey for that beautiful shiny natural sweetness. For a quick afternoon pick-me-up, Let's make a simple yogurt granola bowl. I'll start by making a quick homemade granola. To a bowl, add half a cup of rolled oats. This is the base to give it crunch. Add 1 teaspoon each of chia seeds for extra fiber and sunflower seeds for a nutty flavor. Toss in a few macadamia nuts for that buttery bite. A dash of cinnamon powder for warmth and a pinch of salt to balance everything out. If the nuts are too big, cut them up a little and mix everything until it's well combined. Add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw honey to lightly sweeten it and about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract for aroma and depth. Mix until everything is evenly coated. You can bake these at 180 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes until golden, or toast them on a stovetop like I'm doing. Keep flipping to make sure it's toasting evenly. There are so many ways to make granola. I've linked my homemade granola playlist in the description box so you can pick your favorite version. Once it's golden and toasted, let it cool for a few minutes. Now let's assemble the bowl. Add as much yogurt as you like to a bowl. This will be the creamy base. Top that with the granola for crunch and add some banana slices, berries, or any fruits you love for freshness. Finally, sprinkle some chocolate chips for a touch of indulgence. You can drizzle a little honey if you prefer it sweeter, but for me, the honey in the granola makes it just right. This bowl is creamy, crunchy, lightly sweet, and so satisfying. Perfect as a midday snack or a light breakfast. The final way to use yogurt is in this creamy, flavorful yogurt curry for dinner that is lighter than your usual cream-based curries. I'm using chicken thighs, but you can use any chicken pieces you like. For the marinade, add in 3 tablespoons of the yogurt for creaminess and to tenderize the chicken, 1 tablespoon of oil to help curry the spices, and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice for brightness and balance. Mince in 3 to 5 garlic cloves for that deep, savory flavor, and grate in a bit of fresh ginger for warmth and aroma. To season, add half a tablespoon each of my homemade curry powder for that base flavor, coriander powder for freshness, cumin powder for that earthy tone, turmeric powder for color and subtle depth, salt to taste, and chili pepper to your preferred heat level. Mix until everything is well combined into a smooth, rich marinade. Add the chicken thighs and mix until every piece is coated evenly. Cover and marinate for at least 4 hours to give the flavors time to soak in and to make the chicken more tender and juicy. To a pan over medium heat, add the chicken thighs skin side down. Let them sear for about 5 minutes until golden and slightly crisp. Flip and sear the other side for another few minutes and then set them aside. Add a little cooking oil to the same pan for the base of the curry and a dollop of my homemade compound butter for richness and flavor. Let it melt and heat up. Add in chopped red onions and cook until soft and golden. Saute a few garlic cloves and some ginger until fragrant and lightly golden. Add blended tomatoes next and let them cook down. You can also use fresh chopped tomatoes and cook them until they break down and form a thick, saucy base. To season, add in a little more curry powder, a teaspoon of garam masala for that deep spice flavor, and a pinch of salt. Stir it all in and cook for about 3 minutes for the spices to bloom. Pour a little water into the bowl we used to marinate the chicken to pick up any leftover flavor. Add it into the sauce and mix everything in. Add the seared chicken back into the pan. Cover and let it cook until the chicken is tender and the sauce thickens beautifully. If you want the sauce extra creamy, stir in a spoonful or two of yogurt once you've turned off the heat to give it a smoothie, rich finish. I'm serving mine with turmeric rice, but it goes with any side, plain rice, chapati, or even mashed potatoes. For more videos from my one ingredient drill recipes series, check out the playlist linked above. See you there.